those nice words. First of all, I just want to say thank you, first of all, to Malvern Prep and to the Hall of Fame Committee for this induction. Truly honored. Also, special thanks to Ryan Edgington for nominating me. I want to thank Father Flynn and also fellow nominee Jim Stewart for all your guidance over the years while I was here attending Malvern Prep. I also want to thank Kirk Ruck for your guidance over the athletics program and all the help that you've given to the wrestling program, in particular over the past couple of years. I want to thank Bill Mills for always keeping me healthy during my seasons, whether that be on the field for football or on wrestling mat. Malvern Prep's very lucky to have you for the past literally 30-some years. And I also want to thank you for continued support for our youth program, for our high school program. Also want to thank want to congratulate the other nominees. Again, Steve for your award, Stephen for your award, Matt, and Mr. Stewart as well. You're still Mr. Stewart to me, by the way. When I look at things, I always think in myself, there's 5 elements to success, whether it be in life or whether it be in sports. The first one to me is you have to have some type of vision. You have to have a goal of what you actually want to do, whether it be in life again or sports. You have to have some type of mentorship, whether it be your parents or some other person who might be your coach that helps you guide you along that path to get to retrieve your goal. The third thing you have to have is hard work. Nothing in life comes easy, and that's, in my opinion, one of the most important things. You have to have discipline, because during this time, there's going to be other things that are going to be coming in your life, whether it be having kids, whether it be some other thing, whether if you're still in school, whether it's a schoolwork. You have to have discipline along the whole time. And the last thing is you're going to hit obstacles, so you got to have perseverance. So those 5 things are what's key, what I believe are key. So when I talk about vision for myself, I always wanted to be a professional football player when I was little, and obviously that didn't work out too well. But I grew up in Valley Forge Mountain, and on the street, there's not many houses on there, but there are a few kids about 3 years older than me, and I just want to compete with them. I wanted to beat them in football, and that's what I tried to do. So when I actually played somebody my own age, when I got to be, organized football when I was about 10, it actually came a little bit easy to me. That vision obviously changed slightly when I got that same year. In the winter time, I was introduced to another sport called wrestling. I've been very fortunate in my life to be surrounded by great mentors, great coaches, and that's who I actually want to talk about literally tonight. I'm blessed to be the only kid in America to actually grow up and get hitting and fielding instructions from 2016 Hall of Fame member Mike Piazza and get catching instructions from 1998 Hall of Fame Philadelphia Eagles Tommy McDonald. And the reason I bring these guys up is because I was never starstruck in a moment, whether I was running independent relays when I was in 7th grade or I was in a wrestling match, in the semifinals of national preps, or even wrestling at Penn State. I actually get more starstruck standing up here than I did with those things. But I always wanted the pressure. I always wanted that spotlight, and I think that actually helped me growing up along those people. Tommy McDonald in particular was like a father figure to me. Another person who was a father figure to me was Mr. John Hine. He had 2 sons that actually went on, or 3 sons that went, 2 sons went to Stoke, and 1 son obviously went over to Carroll. The one went on to be the #1 draft pick in lacrosse outdoors. But in particular, Mr. Hines is the one who actually introduced me to football, organized football, and also to wrestling, where I started out a Conestoga youth wrestling program. I want to thank him because I wouldn't be standing here right now if it wasn't for him. After that, I went on for football-wise. I went on to play running back, fullback at St. Catherine's in Wayne when I was in 8th grade. Before I came here to Malvern, and kind of an ironic story is we actually went to the Parade of Champions, and that year was actually played at Malvern, so it was almost like a little foreshadowing that was occurring. Next year, I'd obviously come to Malvern and play football here. The other thing, as far as besides my father, as far as hard work, discipline, there's 3 people in my life that have influenced me more than anything else. One was a guy by the name of Dale Bonsall. He is the former Olympic coach for a program you know as Foxcatcher, in a movie that you watched that I lived through. In particularly, I was actually coached by Dave Schultz 3 days before he was actually killed in the movie Foxcatcher. But Coach Bonsall, to me, and everybody knows him as the Bonds, still to this day is coaching at 70-plus years old. The life lessons that he taught me are things that I pass on to our youth program and to our kids here in high school. I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done for me And I hopefully he walked in here late. I didn't see him when I first got here, but hopefully he's here tonight, and I really appreciate him being here tonight. The next two are Dave and Ed Morgan. Yes, they're brothers. Dave Morgan used to be the head coach here in the wrestling program when I was here in the late 90s. Ed Morgan was obviously his brother, who was the assistant coach here. Again, both of you, I can't thank you enough for molding me into the young man that I became, and the support that you showed me when you came to that Penn State-Lehigh match. I'll never forget you guys in the second or third row watching me. Dave, I'm going to tell you right now, I would never have gotten the national recognition wasn't for you. I didn't have many partners as a senior year. There wasn't really anybody to wrestle, and you were basically the person that every single day to help me. You also got me nominated to go out and wrestle at high school nationals in Pittsburgh, which, for those of you that don't know, is only one person per state. Pennsylvania actually gets two, and he actually got me out there. So I thank you so much for that. Now the two knuckleheads you saw in the video. You know, I never had a brother growing up, but these two guys are one. Thanks, Kyle, for being the best teammate and friend you could ever have in high school. You pushed me to be better while also keeping it light at times. I'm lucky to still call you one of my closest friends, and I'm honored that you're going to be standing next to me at my wedding in December. Nate, you've been my practice partner for my first 2 years, 2 years older than me, and you pushed me every single day. You were my big brother at times, all the way, since I've known you since 10 years old at Conestoga Youth Wrestling Program. But you did one wrong thing as a junior when I was a freshman. See, you beat me twice. And that drove me nuts. It was the first time in my life that I'd ever been on junior varsity in anything, whether it be football or wrestling. And I get to that point being perseverance being one. It was a single moment in my career that changed me. And I'll tell you, that summer, I lifted 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon with a guy by the name of Chris Muntz, who went here as well, played football at defensive tackle. 4 hours a day, every single day, going into my sophomore year, because I wanted to be the best. And I talk about hard work, and that's literally, in my mind, what it took. You know, as far as the football is concerned, I have to thank 4 people. I played under a legendary coach here, Coach Gant Pellegrini. I was coached by his son, Kevin Pellegrini, in defensive backs, and also at running back. Also for defensive backs, Coach Jim Panetta, who I know was in Gant's ear, yelling at him to get out there to help me get on the field against Council Rock. It was my first game I played at cornerback. And also the greatest mind I've ever been around for football, and Coach Joe Sells. Just completely impressed with everything that he gave to this. Unbelievable smart minds, and there was a reason why they were so successful, and I'm just happy to be a part of 11-1 season my senior year that won the Interact. I also want to thank Matt Ryan for supplying such phenomenal H2O during timeouts and keeping me hydrated. He saved me from a lot of cramps during the first couple games in September, and Bobby Boucher would have been proud of him. Heard he's having himself a pretty good NFL career too. I want to point out also one person in the audience, MP current assistant wrestling coach Nathan Wachter, who beat me as a junior in my state finals. He was wrestling for Germantown Academy at the time. He went on the next couple of days to be in Sports Illustrated Faces of the Corral as the most winningest wrestler in the history of Pennsylvania with 196 wins. The fact that I could even hang with you, brother, gave me some idea that I could actually do what I did my senior year when they talked about the kid from the Hill School who I wound up beating. Little did I know you'd become my teammate at Penn State and great friend still to this day. Now I got 6 people left that I have to thank, and thanks, guys, for letting me thank all these people. My aunt, hopefully I get through this. My Uncle Doc and Aunt Barbara, you're like my second grandparents. You were at my first tournament in Norristown when I won, and you were at my wrestle-offs at Penn State, and I can't thank you enough. I always consider my Aunt Barbara my good luck charm. So when she was in the room, it didn't matter who I was wrestling, I was going to beat him. My next person is my grandmother, who's here tonight. Thank you for your love and support. The generosity that you've given me over the years, I can never repay. I just hope you and Grandpa will pray with me. Jessica, my only regret in my entire sports career is that you never got to see me compete. Lucky I get to have you by my side for the rest of my life, starting on December 9th. And I can't wait to marry you. I thought I was the hardest working person I knew until I met you. Thank you for being the kindest and most loving person I've ever met. You make me want to be a better person in life. Maybe one day I'll be sitting next to you, and our son will be up here giving the same speech. Last but not least, I can't thank you enough, Mom and Dad, for all the hours and all the bleacher butt you got over the years in all our sports. I know sometimes you struggled financially to send me here and pinch pennies to give me the best shoes or a sport coat or even my first car. I never had the money to pay you back, so I just wanted to succeed in the classroom and in sports for you. My mother was the toughest person on me in the world for sports, and there's a reason it's called student athlete, and student comes before athlete. And I actually still believe that and teach that to my kids still to this day, to never get excited where they want to go in sports. Always remember that it's student first. You know, I put so much pressure on myself, no matter how much anybody else put around me, that there were times I was in a corner of my room just crying, just to see if I could actually raise the bar and help and go achieve what I could do. I just hope I made you proud, and I thank you for raising me the man that I am today. All those extra hours together, Dad, throwing the football in the backyard for 2 hours straight, 3 hours straight sometimes. You making me go on extra runs, pushing me to work out even when Kyle came over, when I was tired or even wanted to give up. You told me one day, I thank you, Dad. Well, thank you. We did it. In conclusion, I hope my legacy here at Malvern Prep isn't about my athletic career, but about what I've done for the past 9 years and those that will follow in the years to come. I'm just the first in a long wave of wrestlers that's going to be on the wall here at Malvern Prep. I can guarantee you that as long as I'm here, as long as Nathan Lauder's here and Nathan Wachter are here, we will have the best wrestling program in the Interact and one of the top programs in the country. I just also want to recognize the wrestling team had the highest GPA of any sports team here at Malvern Prep. And I mean that when I say student athlete. And we're very proud to have that. We're not just giving you athletes here in Malvern, but we're giving you young men that are going on to succeed in life. Last but not least, I just want to say one day, Nathan, you will be up here giving this speech, and I will be in attendance back there, sitting there. Thank you so much, and God bless.